Well. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of He Said. A look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective. I'm your host, Alvin King, and thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope everybody has had a great week, and I hope everybody is ready for some laughs tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a comedian here. And believe me when I tell you, she is on top of her game. Laughter and love is about her life. She brings us joy, and she's proudly representing in the LGBT community. Ladies and gentlemen, comedian Miss Chocolate is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with us. So stay tuned and stay with us all night. Again, I hope everybody's doing well. Let me see. There's so much going on, and I know we try to talk about everything, but a couple of things. I know you all have been looking at the news and have been checking out the gas prices because if you've been reading it, everything that the way I've been reading it, the gas prices are going down, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, they're a little under $4. And I just want everybody to first recognize that is going down, and to give some credit where it's due. All right, we don't give our administration enough credit. We don't know all of what goes on behind the scenes, but whatever's going on, whatever they're doing, the gas prices are falling because of it. So we need to give our administration some credit. So you all, while you're back out here, you can go riding around and have a little chump change in your pocket also. Let me see. A couple of episodes ago, Vosh and I talked about an incident at a you know a family place, Sesame Street, Sesame Street Park or place. They now have a $25 million class action civil rights lawsuit against them from the family of a little Black girl that one of the characters at Sesame Place shamed or treated her unfairly. And the case alleges now that there are other cases or other situations where little Black kids were being shunned, or the characters were treating them unfairly and just in a way that they shouldn't have. And my thing with all that right now, though, is Sesame Place has said, well, now they're going to put diversity into their program so that when they hire new people, they can have a diversity training. Sesame Place is a place where they embrace all types of children from all different backgrounds, from all different races. So now you're going to put diversity into your program because you got a 25 million lawsuit coming at you. To the family in Baltimore who's taking them to court, if you will, or who have implemented this lawsuit, kudos for you, because you saw something and you said something, and this is how we can stop situations like this. So I applaud you for that. And one more thing for my ladies, I know a lot of ladies, you have friends like me, who like to tell you how to look, and you ask me for advice and stuff like that about what to wear and how to wear it. And there's a reason for that. But I heard something on the news this week. Applebee's have partnered with Winky Lux, and they're introducing a new collaboration with them called Saucy Gloss. And they have 4 different glosses that you all can buy, that you can put on your lips, that smell like, whatever seasonings or whatever they're selling at Applebee's. One of them is called Give Me Hot Buffalo. Another one, Sweet Chili Kiss. And then there's Honey Pepper. And then the last one is Honey Barbecue Tea. Ladies, I love y'all so much. I really, I do. I'm in fashion. I love for you all to look good. But I don't want you sitting in my car smelling like Applebee's. Okay? So just know that it's out there, but you definitely don't have to buy it. But I don't know what they're going to have next. But right now is gloss. I'm sure Applebee's, if they're smart, whoever's doing this, they've done a survey, so they know that you all want this. But I just think I just think that they need to stop while they're ahead. But ladies, think about that. So anyway, it is time to get on with the show, and I can't do that without bringing on my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. So please welcome Mr. Vosh Bodie to the show tonight.
Hey, Alvin
Mr.
King.
Bodie.
Hey, Alvin King, how you doing?
Vosh, I'm doing good. I'm bow-tied and striped.
You look so good. I mean, almost like you should break out into song or something, but you looking good. I like the pattern mix. It's good. Oh, and look at the mug, ladies and gentlemen. Clock the mug. Clock the mug.
The mug. And you can have one too. Okay? Yes, you can.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Thank you for being here tonight, man. I hope you had a great week, man. I'm really ready for this show tonight because I can use some laughs, Bosh. It's just, so much is happening in the world, and laughter is what we need.
Laughter is what we do, Alvin King.
Yeah.
That's what we bring to the people. Let's say hello to all those who are out here already.
Yes. Who's out there? It's Raymond.
Mo Craig.
I've never seen Mo Craig on here.
We haven't even seen Les Craig.
Thank you for joining the show.
Rose is here.
Hey, Rose. George. How y'all doing? See, look at Miss Chocolate's like GE. She's bringing everybody to life. Come on, girl.
And who is Back to Ish?
Come on, huh?
Do you see Back to Ish?
Back to Ish. Who is that? Oh, wait a minute. Back to Ish? I didn't see that.
You may need your baptized name. If you don't mind.
Wait a minute. I'm not even gonna mess with that. And trust me, there's nothing in this cup but water. Okay, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But Vosh, did you hear this week? After they announced the verdict of the killers of Ahmaud Arbery, that Atlanta went ahead and they honored in his legacy. They honored him with a street sign this week, which I thought was pretty damn cool.
That's amazing.
I thought it was cool. His mom was, pretty broken up, about it. She had mixed feelings. She was glad that they did it, but at the same time, she's proud of what they've done, but her son is not here.
Exactly, and to be reminded of him not being there with the street, it might have just been too soon. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh.
Miss Chocolate's daughter's here. That's who's Back to Ish is.
Well, welcome, little chocolate drop.
Okay. Thank you for being on the show tonight. And you know what? I was going to talk about something else, Vosh, and bring it up, but I don't even want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring up this next story. Serena Williams has announced her retirement. Okay.
First of all, she looks fierce. I mean,
but you have to come to a point in life, ladies and gentlemen, when you just have to say, you know what? I've done it. I think I've done all I can do, and I think it's time for me to let it go. And I applaud her. First of all, she owes us nothing, because for 20 years, she has done the damn thing, okay? And has represented well. And so I know I've learned personally from watching her, especially, see, she's calling me right now, okay? But Serena, but I'm gonna let my secretary get that. She has taught me, I mean, literally, about being resilient. You know what I'm saying? And just, staying. God, I told her to call me at 8. But anyway, I hate when that happens. But anyway, Serena Williams is retiring, and girl, do your thing. Girl, do your thing.
What's amazing is her daughter is almost the age that she was when she first picked up a tennis racket and started playing.
Are you serious?
Well, I mean, give or take like 4 years. She was, I mean, but like you look at her and you think, wow, this, she started really young. Serena was very young. It was Venus who was, slightly older. But to just think that she's moving on to another phase. She has been named the greatest athlete of all time.
Exactly.
She has won so many titles. She's gone away. She's come back. She's gone away. Maybe she'll be like Cher. Maybe she'll retire and then she'll come back.
Or Tom Brady.
And come back.
And come back. But you know what? I think she made a lot of good points, and so I really don't think that she's is going to come back because she wants to have more kids, and so you know that a woman's body goes through a lot of changes when they're having kids. So let me see.
That's hysterical.
If I could. Okay. But anyway, are you ready? See, look, they got us all laughing already.
Already.
Are you ready for tonight's show? Because I am so happy that this performer has decided to come on the show. Been following her for a while, and you know, when she was here last week in DC performing, couldn't get her on the show because the schedule was so tight, and our show was like right in the middle of her performance. But we have her here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm ready to bring her on if you are.
You have been looking forward to this for so long, so let's not delay it any further.
Look, I look like a little kid.
Yes,
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? She really doesn't need an introduction, and for what we're going to ask her, she's going to tell you all about her. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the He Said stage, none other than comedian Miss Chocolate.
Hi, guys.
Hi, darling.
Hello.
Hey, beautiful.
How are you, beautiful guys?
So good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here tonight. So thank you. Like I said, I know you're busy. You're doing your thing, and you're doing it well. You're making us proud and making us laugh. So, you know, thank you for being here tonight again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, Miss Chocolate, I want you to take about 90 seconds to tell our audience who is Miss Chocolate.
Wow. 90 seconds. Yeah, well, I am Beverly, Miss Chocolate White. You know, someone asked me one time, are you white chocolate? And I was like, no, my daddy's name is John White. You know, so I am a child of the White family, the Hinton Whites. So I have been a chocolate drop for 69 years now. So I'm seasoned with a little Old Bay seasoning, a little hot sauce, little down south seasoning, you know, little crab sauce. So I am Beverly Marie White. And it took me a long time to live in my truth, to live as a proudly gay lesbian woman, black woman, to live in my truth as a black, dark-skinned black woman. That took a long time too, you know, to love my skin, love the skin I'm in. My daughter is on here, back to Ish. She is not a chocolate drop. They actually call her Red Baby in my family. So, and I have 2 grandsons. So, and I have been wanting to do comedy since I was born, actually. But, you know, growing up in a bourgeois family, it was like, don't make a fool of yourself. And so it took me 50 years to go, I'm going to be who I am. Accept me for who I am. I make no apologies for who I am. I love myself. I love who loves me. And I treat people as they want to be treated, not how I want to treat them, but how they want to be treated. And that's my motto. And like my mama said, ain't none free.
Well, we are glad to have you here. And again, I'm going to be saying that I'm sure a couple of times tonight. And you've already spoke on something that I want to jump right off and ask you about, you know, because your bio was so tight to me. You mentioned in your bio that you had the comedic bug in your system while growing up, but you didn't pursue it or the calling for it because you were being told by your parents that you might make a fool of yourself. Can you share with us what that experience was like for you as a young child?
Well, as a young child, I was a shy person, actually. It's hard to believe, but I was very shy. and I stood in the corner and didn't really talk or do anything, But when I did talk, I realized I could make people laugh. And then I became part of the foster care system, and was told by very bourgeois big mama that I was too dark, too loud. Don't say anything. Don't be yourself, And I just wanted to lay on the floor and watch Lucy and Mom's Mabley and Ed Sullivan, and wanted to be someone else. And once I found out I could go to school in third and fourth, fifth grade and make people laugh and really just be chocolate, I didn't have Beverly was not fun. So I felt that then that I didn't want to be Beverly. I wanted to be Chocolate. Chocolate was the fun girl and fun, and I liked her more. She was not afraid of anything, and Beverly was afraid of everything, and Chocolate wasn't. And it took a long time to blend those two and make people blend those two as well, So that's not a proud thing to be proud of, to say that. It took years to even recognize that in myself, and once I did, going on and off the stage for years was a blessing to go, that God made both of me and wanted me to now put both of those beings out there and be proud of who I am. And,
Well,
and
thank you.
you know,
I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. And let me say before we go to the next question, you look, because you mentioned it, you look damn good for 69 years old, sweetheart. Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Now I can sit back on my throne and the show can go on. So, okay. All right.
Well, Chuck, so this personality or this sort of other character of Chocolate came out when you were how old?
Oh gosh. And I give all praises to my gays for that. That didn't come out until 40s, late
Okay.
40s, 50. It
Okay.
didn't, that I accepted all of who I am. It was very late, even with myself. I used to blame other people as to I had to be either Beverly to them or either Chocolate to them. I blamed other people for having that schizophrenic personality of, saying that they didn't want me to be that. But it was me. I was doing it as well. So it took me a long time to go, you don't have to choose. You are all those layers. You're who you are. So I didn't have to wake up each day and go, who are you going to be today? Who are you going to be tomorrow? I only have to do that to the man if I go to work and go, okay, 9 to 5, girl, you got to be, you got to go to work, But it took a while to realize it was me, that and praying on it and knowing that God wanted me to be everything to myself, and I had to love all layers of me if I wanted everyone else to love all layers of me, in my family, because I did have those people around me, my gays, my family, my daughter, my mom, especially my mom and my brothers that told me, that loved every inch of me, and my aunts and uncles, they loved every inch of me, but you still don't believe it when people tell you, So I had to get it myself, and I got it now, and no one can take that away from me. I am who I am, honey, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right on. Right on. Well, I have a question. How would you define your comedy style?
Um, Style now is, when I first started out, to go back a little, I started out in Christian comedy. And I was doing a lot of Kojic Christian conferences, church conferences, and things like that. And on and off, I would do clean comedy and this. And so when I came back out 5 years ago, my comedy now is my life. I've lived my life. So it's my experiences. It's my LBGT community. It's my my walk through life, my encounters with people, my observations, my trials and tribulations, even the horrors are funny, when I retell them to people, because life, you just can't make it up. You know, it's just there, you know. And people think you're making it up. You know, I mean, even other comedians that will steal a joke or take a joke. It's like, no, I lived that. I didn't make that up. You know, so I don't have to remember it because it happened. You know, I don't have to write it down. It happened. You know, so that's my style, and I feed off the audience. I get that energy from a live audience, and just telling my truth. And I see, and I have people. My grandson always says that those are my people. I know my audience now, and some get it, some don't. You know, when I'm telling my truth, and I know my particular audience, and not everybody get it. You know, so.
Now you mentioned your grandchild, and you always tend to light up when
Yeah.
you mention your grandchildren.
Yeah.
How have they influenced your career?
Oh my goodness. When I first started out, my daughter used to be my muse. My daughter used to be my purse. And she would just go with me everywhere when I did a show. And now my oldest grandson is Rashad. He's 28, HBCU graduate. OU. Uh, and then he became my muse, you know. So, you know, it's like, Mima, where are you performing? Where are you, you know? And so, and now he goes with me everywhere. My daughter very seldom is there now, and so he's at every show, and all the other comedians in the audience know him, and so they give me strength. You know, they give me power. They give me, you know, just unconditional love. They give me, you know, armor. I can do anything. Nobody can do anything to me. You know how it goes, like when your mom dies. You know, my mom died in 96, and I still, when things happen to me, I want to go. I want to tell my mom, you know, good or bad. And now it's like, my grandchildren, you know, Michael and Rashad, 20 and 28. It's like, I want to tell them. And my daughter is like now getting it. I want to tell my mom, you know, it's nothing like. So when I see him in the audience, you know, it nothing bad can happen to me. There is not a bad show. There's not a bad joke. There's not a, you know,
Right.
because if he laughs, I don't give a damn if nobody else laughs.
I'm sorry.
I don't care.
Well, Chocolate, I'm going to take you back a little bit. Now, I didn't know you at the time, but there was a club here in DC called the Clubhouse.
Yes.
And all I know, when I would see you, you were like the epitome of who you don't talk to because she's so fierce up in this club kind of girl. And you would just walk through the club in these like 4-inch heels, and I mean just absolutely giving. And you were all about fashion, so I know that fashion is your passion right now. So
Yeah.
my question to you right now is, you know, how important is it for you to include your sense of fashion in your comedy?
Oh my God. It's like, if I didn't have fashion in my shoes, you know, I probably have over 500 pair of heels and about 200 pair boots. And, you know, the higher the heel, the closer to heaven, you know. So it's, you know, I mean, and
Don't
I've
make me
always
go
had
buy a pair.
my mom had it. My mom was probably 4 feet tall, and you know, and she wore 5-inch pumps, and then, you know, and my gays dressed me like I was their Barbie doll, you know, and stuff. And so and I was their chocolate drop, and so it was always about fashion. And we was talking thrift stores, so we went to the thrift store. Half my stuff still does come from that, but it was a way of my personality. It was a way of showing who I was, you know, especially when I didn't have a voice. So at the Clubhouse, you know, I would come through there like that, but I was voiceless really then. You know, I was one of the Clubhouse models modeling for Leroy Carey,
Mhm.
and going through, and they would just put me in this circle and just twirl me, twirl me, twirl me, twirl me, you know, until we walked to the other side. I actually had my picture painted on the wall in the hallway
You did.
at the Clubhouse.
You did.
And but I wasn't still this person that you know now. I still wasn't that person. at the clubhouse. I still
Oh my
wasn't
God.
this loud person.
Girl, you invented the word diva. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, you all just heard me mention that I used to see at the clubhouse. She comes on and says, "Yeah," and they had my picture, my mural, in the.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, we got lost.
Something.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Okay.
There you go. There you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
There you go. So look, let me ask you this, and I want to move on to now that you're performing. You've performed engagements up and down the East Coast, New York to Philly, Atlanta to Memphis, Tennessee. Was there a specific performance that you had that when you did it, you said, "This is exactly where I need to be"?
Oh, yes. When I first did, I did the Apollo, and when I saw all those people, and that was years ago, and I saw all those people, and Sandman didn't pull me off the stage. I knew then, you know, and back in the day when I did a show actually with Martin Lawrence, Monique, um, who else was on there? Wanda Sykes, all of us, because we were already here and we did this show. And then they went on. It was a wonderful show. They went on. It's a couple of people here still doing it. Tony Woods and a couple of other season people, Sylvia Traymore, and they went on, you know, to Hollywood, being a foster child and being this most 90% of comedians. First of all, we're the most dysfunctional mental case people ever. Okay, and we become someone else on the stage. And I had a fear of abandonment and issues and all of that, and so of course I didn't get on that bus with $20 and go off with the New York story and the, you know, Hollywood story. And I stayed here with my mom because I had already been shifted around. And so, but I do remember that show and us all being on that show. And I knew then that was what I wanted to do. I always wanted to do it, but you can talk yourself out of it, and life can interrupt and you do other things. And, you know, so I tell young people now, you know, if this is what you want to do and this is your passion, keep doing it, but not get caught up into other people. I mean, you know, it's like any genre. It's crabs in a barrel. It's crabs in a barrel. Don't get caught up into cliques. DC is very. You can get caught up in the cliques, and you just be lovely and friends and laugh with everybody. You never know who's going to be that next top star. All the comedians that are big got horrible beginning stories. And they got horrible people, you know, that they didn't just, Dave Chappelle didn't just be Dave Chappelle. Tiffany didn't just be Tiffany, you know. So always be nice and kind and wonderful with everybody that you're doing shows with. And, you know, but I also tell people that I'm not your mentor either. You know, I got children to raise. I ain't really trying to raise these crazy people out here. They grown ass people. I ain't, you know, and I'm trying not to curse either. But then every time I open my damn mouth, something comes out. Because I'm old now, you know. So the light is coming, and you know.
Well, this is a family show, but the way Bob and I have said, if you're on a mountain, you can go to the cliff, just don't jump.
No, I'm not, you know, and I'm not gonna follow the light either, because you know, because I'm old, so I know Jesus now, you know, is listening to everything I'm saying, you know. So,
well, speaking of, because I have watched some of your comedy, and for those of you who are watching, if you have not, you can go to YouTube and look up Miss Chocolate Comedy and find some of her stuff. I know you love Jesus, but you cuss a lot.
Well, just a little bit.
I'm not judging at all because it is all just language. But so now that you're getting all famous and stuff, does your family ever ask you to perform for them?
Oh, please. Are you kidding me, honey? I come from a real dark-skinned Black family. So now, of course, honey, everybody will say they're funnier than me.
Which is funny, ain't it?
Everybody's funny. You ain't funny. I'm funny. You ain't got no jokes. I got jokes. So they all are funnier than me, and they can get up on stage and they can do it. So I have one cousin though. I send her tapes, and my cousin is a star. That's one out of 800 cousins. Everybody else is, no, they're the star, and they are much funnier to me. And all they need to do is get up on stage and the mic. Yeah, so they give you no props. They will probably not give me any props if I get a Tony. If I become an EGOT one day, no. They will still go, child, I'm funnier than she is.
That's
Love it. Love it.
Well, speaking of awards, so far in your career, what is the moment that you are most proud of?
I'm most proud of?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm proud of my children, my child. I'm proud of my grandchildren. They've come, especially my daughter. She's a tagger mom. Oh my God. She has put these two boys through colleges and made them do things I couldn't make her do. And so I'm proud of that.
Well, I mean, in your career, like, what are you most proud of?
In my career, I'm very proud of the people that surround me, that lifted me up, people that believed in me. I'm very proud of, Racine Pendarvis, people like Alvin, people like, I didn't want to start naming because I'm going to leave somebody out and it's just going to hurt. But the people that back in the day, I used to just tell people, some people that are gone, woo woo, and people that I would look at and go, I want to be on stage. I'm a comedian, and they had a platform, and they would look at me and go, okay, you're gonna be on my show next week, things like that, and they would just go, okay, well, here you go, But I'm proud of being other platforms that when with my domestic violence, it opened me up, that now I can speak before a crowd, that now when I experience domestic violence and intimate partner violence, when that happened, I was able now to bring the two platforms together to be able to, now I have an audience, I can bring another subject matter to them and raise funds for that in that. And once I did that, once again, Racine, Bishop Allison, other comedians and stuff, when I told them that was what I was doing, they just said, come on, and opened the door and went. I mean, people like Alvin, God put these people in your lives, and you just go, Alvin went, you're a comedian? Okay, boom, hey, I want you on my show. Things like that. The doors open and people just believe in you, and those are the things I'm most proud of.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I thank you. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. We're so glad that you're here tonight. So I'm going to move into an area that Bosh and I have wanted to talk to you about regarding the business of comedy. So in your opinion, is it hard for African-American women to break into this and succeed in comedy?
Yes. First of all, it's hard for most women, but African-American women, yes, because it's hard for African Americans, period. So if it's hard for the man, so now the man is hard on the woman. You'll look up sometimes and have a show, and it could be 10 men, one woman, on the show. And then that's the clicks could come, or just who you working with, and it's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to put anyone comic down or anyone, but you'll look up and you're just working with the same people and you're going, but it's hard out here for a woman, period. But a Black woman, yes, because you're not taken seriously. You're not paid the same, you can be disrespected on a level. I have been disrespected. I've seen other women disrespected on the stage, not given the same respect as the male comedian. So it's much harder, and the stories have been going on forever. We all have that story, and sometimes we brush it away, and sometimes we come together and talk about it, and sometimes you if you want to get past it or succeed, you know you don't mention it.
Just keep
You
going.
know, it's like any other abuse. You know.
Wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, being an openly gay comedian, do you find it easier to perform for gay crowds or for straight crowds?
Well, being openly gay now, I have done straight shows being the only LGBTQ person there. I have found out my audience is the LGBTQ crowd. That I get much more respect, much more love, lack of a better word, from that crowd. Okay. Because I mean I have been in shows where you're the butt of the joke from it. But there are, since I came back out here, I have met quite a few LGBTQ comedians that are fabulous, you know, and I was so surprised and so proud. There's one comedian that she is so wonderful, and she is doing her thing, and sometimes being the only one, you know, on it, you know. So but however, I noticed that we really don't cross paths. It's so funny how um my audience is mostly white.
Interesting.
I have a mostly white audience, you know, and it's funny, but and it is strange because most of my life my audience has been white in certain areas. I've been the only black on jobs. I've been the only black in certain, you know, in most areas. So you know, it doesn't hit me as strange so much. I don't know. My people don't like me too much. I don't know.
Support, but go ahead, tell the truth. We tell the truth on this show.
I've been called extra. You know, I'm too much. Yeah. I'm too much. You're too extra. You're too black. You're too loud. You know, I'm everything but basic. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I love my people, but you know, my last name is White, so maybe I'm just Becky White on the inside. I don't know. I just, you know, I mean, it is what it is, you know, and so, but it's hard out here to do it. I was producing at a club for about 6 months, 3 months, maybe 6 months. And at that club, it was only black comedians. And so I had come back out and met a lot of comedians. And to me, comedy is like music. You know, if you're funny, you're funny. It doesn't have to be black comedy, white comedy, Latin, you know. And so I met all these different comedians. And so I wanted to have an opportunity to bring them around, because if you're funny, you're funny. So I was the first person that brought a white comedian to this club. I was the first person that brought a transgender comedian to this club. The first person that brought a gay man to this club. You know, now they're coming in gradually and doing it, but I was the first one to do that. And the people that were the regulars that came there, they actually came up to me and went, "Oh my goodness, that, you know, they were gay, but they were funny. It was good. They were funny, you know." And because I knew they were funny and they just needed, you know, a platform to go. And I didn't even tell them it was a total straight club. That was their first time, you know, being there. So we have to there, you know, break out of the box to do that. And I was proud to be able to do that, to show them that just like music, anything else, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let me ask you, being an openly gay comedian, how do you feel about other comedians like Dave Chappelle being criticized for some of his material about the LGBTQIA plus community?
I think being a comedian, I think that it was taken out of comedy context. I can't get on another comedian for talking because I get them talk about white people all the time. Okay, and I get up and talk. He was not getting up making a speech like a political speech. Was not to me. Was not getting up running for office and was not getting up being, you're a comedian. We cannot be. I'm not saying don't hold us on the same standards or whatever. I'm not saying that. But however, you can't critique everything that we're gonna say. We're gonna talk about everybody. I mean, I'm sorry, but I talked about these little kids the other day, and I'm sorry I used the word retard because I forgot, and now we can't say retard. And it was like, so you're a comedian and you're up there. So when I first heard it, to me, it was not like he was making this political speech against the LGBTQ community. He was. It's a joke. Sometimes we got to take a joke from a comedian. So I'm sorry. I was mixed on it. I was, and I was mixed. I would not have canceled him. It's not cancel. That was my stance on it. You're a comedian. And so we're going to have to start saying there will be no more comedians. What would we be able to say? Who would we make fun of? We can't make fun of anybody. I wouldn't even be able to make fun of my handicapped nephew because now what? I mean, Beyonce can't even say what was that word that we used to say all the time?
It was
spaz. Yeah, I grew up saying spaz. Right? Who knew? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, thank you for that. I just really wanted to get your take on that. Thank you.
Monica wants to know, what are your thoughts on Monique versus DL Hughley?
Well, you know what? I met Monique, like I said, years ago before she got really, really big. I loved her. She used to put on these shows in Baltimore that I used to do. And I loved her. Big, black, beautiful woman, had natural talent. I mean, just one of my idols. And I don't know. And I'm glad she's coming out on top. I felt like I don't know, as a black woman, I felt like, that now she was like, she got big, got the Oscar, and I think this man did a Florence ballad on her, that now just came along and was like, you don't need them, girl, let me do this, and that, I'm going to be your boss, and I'm going to be your manager, and I'm going to tell you what to do, because you don't need them no more, and why pay them, pay me, why give them 10%, give it to me, and I felt that at first. And then I just stopped following it. So I could be speaking on something 10, 15 years ago, but that was my expression. That was my impression at first, was like, you're listening to now this new man going, but she's doing her thing. I love her for that. I always loved her for that. And and she, like I said, she's a comedian too. I hated seeing the fight among us. Mm-hmm. It was, and sometimes we gotta keep that stuff in the house.
Keep it in place. Yeah,
we gotta keep it. Exactly. We gotta keep it in the house. Not keep abuse in the house. Because I'm against abuse and domestic violence. But we gotta tell the whole world, that I'm fighting with my cousin and my brother. Come on.
Yeah.
They want us to fight against each other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of sort of like turning things on one another, we take mental health very, very seriously. We also take trauma and violence very seriously here. And you touched on this a little bit earlier about being a survivor of intimate partner violence.
Yes.
It's led you to start an organization and do speaking, really helping people break the silence. Can you talk to us about that? Like, how often does this happen within the LGBTQI communities? What can people do if they believe that they are, in a situation that is violent or could turn violent?
It is so dear to my heart. At least about 5 or 6 years ago, I met this young lady on New Year's Day, and by that June, she was dragging and kicking and beating me and pulling me down my hallway, and on a Sunday. And that Monday, I went to court to get a restraining order. And in the courtroom, in the domestic violence section, first of all, I called the police. And when the police came and found out it was girl on girl crime, they didn't even take a report. They didn't even write it down. Okay. And when I went to get a restraining order that Monday, and I went to the domestic violence part, they had this room now full of women and children. It really looked like a pediatrician's office, because over in the corner was a play area for the kids, because now this is what happens every Monday, I guess, from these people being beat over the weekend with their kids. And so now, and when we went to court, and now they were not saying anything, they weren't telling anybody. So of course now I tell everybody, and that's when I found out that when I called a couple of friends, I found out that DC did have a lesbian LGBTQ liaison unit. I didn't know that we had a police liaison unit. Most people did not. And as I was telling people, they started telling me their stories of how they gotten beaten. One transgender friend of mine had just gotten beaten the month before, and she felt like she couldn't tell anybody, because now you felt like they made you believe you deserved it. The transgenders were going around getting killed and beat, and you deserved it because of who you are. And nobody was talking about it. The police weren't taking action. And so I wanted to be one woman, many voices. That's my banner back there. One woman, many voices. So I wanted to break the silence on it. And that's when I found out the CDC, actually, it is intimate partner violence against one another when you're not married. And it is a crime. And so I wanted to bring it. So every October is Domestic Violence Month. Bishop Allison Abrams, with her ELC church, I speak with her all the time. She works with it on it all the time. Racine Pendarvis found out that I was doing it, and they gave me a platform to do that. But in this community, it was very strange, because at first I had all these people that was yay, and then the next thing you know is like, oh no, she didn't do that, but oh no, they didn't do that, oh they this, they that. And abuse is everywhere. Your preacher, your doctor, your teacher, your lover, and that's why. And then they start blaming the victims. So victims now are afraid to speak out because they don't feel like they have support. So now there is a 800 hotline, the National Coalition to End Violence. They have it now at the House of Ruth. June Crenshaw has it now at the Wanda Austin Foundation. There are areas now, there are people now you can call to find out. And I have it on my Facebook and Instagram that now you want to call, I'm there to help you. I'm going to be your voice if you don't want to speak.
Well, I'm sorry that I thought about if there is a a website or information that we can share on here now. Let us know what that is. We will type it in so that we can show it, because we want to get the word out. But thank you for sharing that. That was a very intimate side of you, and I know. Yeah, very personal. So I really appreciate you answering that question. We are nearing the end of our interview with you. However, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Chocolate has decided to bless us with actually, she's going to introduce one of her new comedy monologues to us tonight. And we are so excited about that. So we want to make sure that you stay tuned and you hear that. Hold on, George Pringle, who is one of your, I know he loves you. I know he does. You are every woman. So proud of you speaking out. Use your platform. And I don't mean your 6-inch pump.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, everybody needs a George. But before, I tell you what, while you prepare yourself to get ready for the monologue, we're going to have a special announcement by our Vice President, none other than Vice President Harris.
Congratulations and happy 195th anniversary to the NNPA, to Dr. Chavis, to all of the leaders. As we know, our Black press has been the voice, the trusted voice of the community. It has been the trusted voice for the nation in terms of speaking of and about with knowledge and with respect what is happening in the community. The Black press will tell the stories that need to be told and often by other press outlets is not being told, but directly impacts so many people. And so I applaud the Black press for all that you do. I know that through the course of the last 2 years, it has been a real effort because so many of our Black newspapers and publications are also family-owned businesses, small businesses, and the challenges that come, and in particular in the last 2 years that have come with that. So I just want to thank you for your endurance, for your strength, but your voice is so incredibly important, especially when I think about this moment in the history of our nation. 195 years celebrating an anniversary. And now more than ever, in a very different way, we are dealing with so much misinformation, inaccurate information, the dissemination of hate speech, and so much that is incorrect and wrong. There are people who want to deny history, who don't want to teach history, which reinforces, as much as it ever has been important, reinforces the importance of our Black press. So happy anniversary.
Thank you, Vice President Harris. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I said she's going to do it, so we're going to move out of the way, Vosh and I, and we're going to let our special guest, Miss Chocolate, take the stage. Take it away, Miss Chocolate.
Hi, guys. Okay, so yes, they wanted me to give it but don't you like Kamala? You know, I think if once you get to be vice president, you can change your name to Kanisha or somebody if you want to. Kamala is just not Black enough. I would have changed mine to Kanisha Waugh or something like that. You know, one of them car Kia or somebody like that. It's always got to be a car. But I've been so blessed to be on this show and stuff. And yes, I'm working on new material because I'm going back out here among the gays and the whites and the Blacks and the Latinos. But I was talking to my neighbor, and she has kids going back to school. And so, you know, she's now picking out their itineraries and whatever you do for kids now, because my kids now, you know, are in college and stuff. And so she's doing these things. And so she's been teaching them at home. So now you people that's been teaching these kids at home, I think now you have found out you got some dumb little stupid kids. And I mean that in a good way, but I'm glad you found out. So now I'm gonna need you to go to school and have a talk with your teachers, and tell your child now that there are no more participation trophies. You are a loser. You will not win this game. You cannot play this game. Write these down for your child. You are setting them up for failure. Not all children are going to win. I know I sound like the mean old auntie at the cookout, but some of your children are not smart. And I'm gonna need y'all to tell them before school start in September. And because everybody's not gonna be a doctor. Everybody is not going to be my grandchild and go to St. John University. Oh, did I throw that in? I'm sorry. But everybody is not going to be a smart kid. So, but I got a solution. When you go, I can go with you, because now you got these little body arty kids, you know, they 13 and 14 and they got it going on and stuff. You might want to look at them and say, you know what, baby, you might not can get in Howard, but you can take Miss Chocolate's hotty thotty Hoeing 101 class, you can have 100 classes for $100 for 100 months. And I will teach you how to hoe 101. Because you can't get in Howard, but you can get in hoeing 101. I'm just here to tell you, I'm not calling you a hoe. I'm really not. I'm just saying you can get an A in hoeing where you cannot get an A at Howard. So I'm just saying use it now before you lose it later. That's all I'm saying. Be a Kardashian. I'm just saying, and something right. There you go, Steve. And some of y'all are ugly. Stop telling these kids they pretty. Stop putting their pictures on. They are not. I am so tired of typing they're adorable. If I tell you your child is adorable, they ugly as hell. I'm sorry. And I'm trying to be respectful to you, but they are not pretty. I know what a pretty child is. I had one. I'm sorry. I'm back on me again. I'm sorry. But anyway, so just don't set your child up and reinforce them. Don't just tell them what they can't do. Tell them what they can be. They can be a 100% hoe if they take my class. That's all I'm saying, But that's enough about the youngins. I'm going to go back to the old ones because it's August 13th. That means last call. It's last call. If y'all ain't got nobody in right now in your phone for the fall, for September and October, you better get on it because it's last call. I'm trying to get on it now. I'm trying to get somebody to call me and hook me up. Y'all mamas, y'all dad. Well, first of all, no, I don't want none of y'all mamas and daddies because there's some old people on here, and I don't want no old people. Just because I'm 69, and see, I'm the good 69. I'm not that nasty 69 that y'all thinking of because I'm not doing that. I don't do that no more. So I'm the good 69, but I don't want no 69-year-old people. They are old. And they drop it and they can't get up. And so I don't want them no more. But it's last call for getting somebody because it's going to be fall soon. And you're going to need somebody to cuddle with. Okay? So now I want somebody young, thick, hottie. And I'm going to need you to know how to do certain things. Y'all heard this before. I'm going to need you to know how to take my blood pressure. I'm going to need you to know how to take my pulse. I'm going to need you to know how to dial 911. But I come with benefits too. I come with benefits. Okay. I got handicap tags. We can park anywhere. Anywhere. Handicap tags. On Tuesdays, I get a 20% senior citizen discount. We can shop anyway. First of the month, my social security check come on time to my bank account every month. We can get it. EBT card. So I come with benefits. Okay, And honey, my breast now hangs so low and stuff. I ain't even got to leave the room. You ain't even got to stop playing your game, boy. I could just sit there and I could throw it over there to you. You can still keep playing your game and stuff and all that when you get with somebody old. Okay, it's real. But I don't want you to. Oh no, I don't want nobody in a wheelchair. I don't want nobody bent over on their cane. Cause see, my cane is 6 feet tall. When I walk with my cane, I parch Georgia Avenue with my cane. I'm Moses. Everything is out the way. Because I'm not bent all over. You see all this beauty? Yeah. Okay. Because I'm not your mama. And I don't want to look. I don't want nobody with kids. I don't want your. I'm sorry if you still got your mama, but I don't want nobody that mama still living. I'm sorry. I just, I don't want your dad still living. That's it. That's my tip for this evening with them. Get more later. Stand in line. Ticketmaster. I got tickets on sale. Coming to a theater to you real soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, put your smiley faces on this screen. Hey, let's hear it for Miss Chocolate. Thank you, Miss Chocolate. Hey, look, real quick, can you tell us what's next for you before we talk about next week's show?
I have so many plans. Okay, so I have been contacted by.
You only got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I'm going to start my own podcast talk show. And coming up, I have a few private birthday parties I'm performing on. I'm in a couple of comedy festivals that I'm going, but I'm most proud of my talk show podcast that is coming up, and I'm excited about it. I'll share with you soon.
Make sure that you share with us here at He Said Live, and we will get the word out for you. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Miss Chocolate. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we have the incredible author of Desired Lines, Carrie Allen Johnson. Desired Lines is an unputdownable book about queerness, love, loss, and the will to keep going despite the world. Carrie will be with us next week, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about his new book that just dropped. That will actually drop in September. So tune in next week for that. And our words of the week: miracles start to happen when you give as much energy to your dreams as you give to your fears. And that is an unknown quote. So again, thank you for joining us tonight. Miss Chocolate, we really do appreciate you. Thank you, Vance, for being here tonight. You know how much I appreciate you. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in when we bring you a new episode of He Said.
He said.
He said.
All right now. All right. You all have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Be safe out there.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Mwah.